get you nowhere at home. Yeah, da, da, da. And even though everything's collapsing, you know, Rodney, even the whole house could collapse. We could have a tsunami around the corner. Tsunami, or what? Dad's tsunami, or everything could be rotten. You just say to yourself, why worry? And all those people in bed sheets in the Middle East, why worry? What do we care about them? Worry gets you nowhere at all. Da, dun, da, dun, dun.
That was the very politically correct Ian Whitcomb. Welcome to At Home. It's a special one because tonight we're going to film the lad.
The lad?
And we've got to present things properly, haven't we? And we're going to just chat about what you're going to do tonight.
Well, what am I going to do? See, the thing is, although... Actually, this is where I normally speak, you see. I just put on that other one every now and then to try and be a man of the people. The thing is, I'm rather nervous about tonight, Rodney. I'll tell you why. Well, because I live in America. It doesn't sound like I do, but I live right on the west coast of America in a place called Monrovia.
You do? You've flown over especially to see us, to do this show.
But what I'm worried about is I'm so removed from Britain that I don't know what they're going to like. And I've done shows before here. I did a show for the BBC in Liverpool, and they just sat on their bottom with their hands under the bottom, and they didn't. And I was doing these incredibly funny songs, and they just there was no reaction. So I'm terrified.
No, this is Grannyland. You're on the Isle of Wight, and they love this. What you're going to do? The tea dance.
My age group. Okay.
No, it's not a tea dance. Does that identify with anything?
Are they going to dance?
They do line dancing.
Yeah, but you told me that you couldn't have that tonight.
Well, we're going to ban them because we don't want them to get in the way of the cameras.
No, I love it. I've got some ones they can dance to, and wibbly wobbly walk. I don't think I'll be doing that one. But anyway, that's great if I know that. But what do you think I should...
Well, the ukulele is not a sort of modern... You started very modern, didn't you? You made number 8 in the American
That's right,
parade
years ago, in
1965,
when I was much younger.
What's happened, Ian?
Well, I've got older, haven't I? I'm now... a senior. I have senior moments. Do you have that phrase over here?
All the time.
Like I forget bits of music, and that's a senior moment.
Well, you had your senior moments way back, not just recently. Come on, you graduated, and then you went straight to Tin Pan Alley bit, didn't you?
That's right. I've had a long career going backwards. It's a long march backwards for me. And I did start off, as you say, as a rock and roll singer, as a big star, but not a star in this country, you see, a star in America. And a person who had been an undergraduate at Trinity College in Dublin. It's terribly confusing because I'm an Englishman who went to college in Ireland, who had a hit there. Had a record there, and then became a hit in America. And I used to tour with these British groups like the Dave Clark Five and the Rolling Stones. They say, "Who is this fella?"
What were you doing with the Rolling Stones?
I was touring with them. Right. I was touring with them. And as a matter of fact, Mick Jagger got apparently absolutely obsessed with me because my record had this low breathing on it. Come on now, honey. You know you really turn me on. And then at the last bit, well, when you do, this is the gimmick that made it a hit. That's my song. And
it's the heavy breathing, was it?
Heavy breathing, and this is before glam rock and androgyny.
Yes.
And he thought this guy we don't know what sex this fellow is. And he was very intrigued, and he quizzed me backstage for a long time. We were about to go on at a big concert, and he wanted to know all about me. He couldn't figure me out.
Oh dear.
Thought, what is this guy? What sex is he? He's very strange. And I think later on he started putting on makeup and then there was David Bowie. But I for my sins, started this whole androgyny thing. Now I look back, terrible thing to have to admit to. But I'm sorry, but I did.
It all happened there. Now the archetypal English accent goes a bomb in America.
Well, I don't lay it on. I mean, I went to these boarding schools, and everybody in the 50s, which is what I'm from, and a lot of my relatives at that time would speak like this. And actually, I wish I spoke like this more because it gives you a certain amount of self-confidence. And the people who went out and ran the empire had this security about them. And it's something I wish I could do all the time, because I would feel so very sure of myself. And in a crisis with things collapsing, they're not, it doesn't matter what, because there was a story about one empire builder in India. And, in India, they used to have these rickshaw, the rickshaws in China, but anyway, I think they pulled carts up the hills anyway. They would have these boys pulling them up a cart up the hill. And apparently the story went that one of these empire builders was in his rickshaw, and his rickshaw boy collapsed and died right on the street, and and the British Empire man said, bloody nuisance, and I'm late for tiffin too, which was tea.
Yes.
Very annoying. So, yes, that's the way.
Those were the days.
Well, I don't know whether they were the days, but I mean, the accent, to get back to your point, I think Americans like me because I'm still English, but I don't lay it on. Although I'll tell you a quick story. Am I talking too much?
You carry on, you're doing my job beautifully.
My mother used to say, you never stop, do you? You never stop talking. But I was going to say that I did a film a few years ago, because I sometimes, in America, they give me these little parts in films. There's a film called Contact with Jodie Foster. It's a science fiction film. And I auditioned for a part of a BBC television announcer. The only parts I ever get are television announcers. Anyway, when I did the role eventually, it was a big director, Robert Zemeckis was directing it. And I did the part which was to announce the news that Martians had landed or something like that. And I remember the director said, Ian, he said, come on, late, you're not doing your British accent, you're not doing the snobby accent, you're not doing that upper class accent, come on, lay it on, be snobby, be prejudiced, sound like a terrible stuffy Britisher. And I did, and I spoke like that. And as I was doing it, I thought, this is terrible, I'm betraying my country and my background. And I felt like as if I was a black man who was told, you're not being black enough, come on, say massa and things like that.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting experience to have, actually, because I realized what it must be like for a black person, or say in the past a Jew, being told why your nose isn't big enough or something like that. And in this minor way in this film, I thought I shouldn't be doing this, but because I wanted the part, I went along with it, and I made a mockery of the British by doing this sort of
Shame on you, sir.
Shame on me. So I'll stop it. Right.
That's it.
Stop it.
Right, listen, we've got to plan this evening.
Oh yes, the evening. I'm so sorry.
I must stop you now.
So you said, what do you say about the Christmas decoration? You said there were...
Unfortunately, we're still in the Christmas period. I'll tell you a secret.
Yeah.
Tell everybody a secret.
Oh Lord.
Tinsel and turkey is flavour of the month at many venues now.
Yes.
In this country. It starts on the 28th of October.
Oh.
We have had 16 Christmases filming at some locations. I don't want Christmas anymore. I've had it.
I see.
There's turkeys everywhere. There's tinsel everywhere.
Yes.
And that'll happen tonight. They've still got it up.
So you don't think I should do... I was going to do this... I was going to do Christmas Island, but I can't...
Well, no, go on.
I can do it now rather than tonight.
Let's have it now.
Well,
decide
you tell me what you think of it. I love this song, actually, and I didn't write it. How'd you like to spend Christmas on Christmas Island? How'd you like to spend a holiday away across the sea? How'd you like to spend Christmas on Christmas Island? How'd you like to hang your stocking on a great big coconut tree? I love this bit that's coming. How'd you like to stay up late? Isn't that a nice thought? How'd you like to stay up late? I can any night of the week, like the islanders do. Wait for Santa to sail in with your presents in a canoe. If you ever spend Christmas on Christmas Island. That was an ethnic bit. Do you like the bit?
Fascinating.
I got that from a native. I did. He was glad to get rid of it.
I bet he was.
Oh, yes. You will never stray, for every day your dreams will all come true.
Hey, I've just thought of a negative.
What?
Well, today I think is the first day of shipping. There will be an older audience tonight, which is okay.
Yes, fine.
But they've travelled about 6 hours on a coach.
Yeah.
They've done an hour on the ferry.
Oh, Lord.
They've had a big meal.
Oh,
the average age will be 60-ish.
Yeah, about my age.
And when you get on tonight and you sing something about falling asleep on an island, it's going to do the job properly, isn't it, Ian?
Because they're very old folk like me. Yes.